Hello students. Today I am going to talk about an interesting topic. I hope all of you will agree with me that eating and talking about food is quite interesting to all of us. But how many of you know about the functions of foods and the nutrients present? Shall we go on a knowledge tour through this module to know about this? Dear students, it is an universal fact that food is one of the basic needs of life and its consumption is necessary for survival. Food supplies the body with all the vital nutrients. Food also provides pleasure and it is commonly associated with social functions and emotions. Do you agree with me, students, that food is important for life as it keeps us healthy and active? But the foods we eat should also be safe and rich in all the nutrients to meet our needs. A wide variety of foods should be eaten throughout the day. It is important that we eat enough food to supply all our needs. This module will surely help you to learn about the different functions of foods, identify the nutrients present in foods, and relate the role of nutrients with the functions. The general functions of foods are to supply energy, help in growth and repair, regulation of the body functions, and for protection against diseases. In the next few minutes, I shall explain to you the general functions of foods in detail. Food supplies the fuel or energy needed to perform the many tasks of everyday living. It provides the body with energy in the form of calories, fueling the cells in the same way that fuel runs a car. We need energy to think, to breathe, walk, sit, speak, and even sleep. We get energy from carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Here, I want you to pay attention because if we eat more energy-giving foods than our body needs, this energy will be stored in the body as fat, and too much stored energy will result in overweight or obesity. Food also provides the materials needed to build, repair, and maintain body tissues. Proteins, fats, and minerals are the best nutrients for growth. Growth needs extra amounts of these nutrients. Every person, whether growing or not, is going through a continual repair process of replacing injured or dead cells. Hence, students, you should also eat the right foods to get these nutrients. I hope you are aware that many processes are taking place in our body every second, and we need nutrients to help regulate the body's processes. For example, water, vitamins, and minerals help regulate breathing, the functioning of the nervous system, digestion, blood circulation, and the elimination of waste products from the body. Our body needs to be protected from diseases and infection. Consumption of vitamins, minerals, and proteins protect the body's tissues and organs from diseases and keep them healthy. Did you understand the general functions of the foods? Shall we go to the next part of the topic? Now, I shall brief you about the physiological functions of foods, which is the most important of all. Our body performs several activities, both voluntary and involuntary, and these activities require energy. Even when the body is taking rest, energy is required to carry out the involuntary processes of the body like digestion, respiration, circulation, beating of the heart, etc. Energy is also required to carry out professional, household, and recreational activity. This energy is supplied from foods. The muscles, bones and different parts of the body are built up and maintained by the proteins supplied by the food. Minerals like calcium, iron and phosphorus are required for the formation of blood and skeletal tissues. As you have already seen in the general functions, food protects the body against diseases. Vitamins and minerals are needed for maintaining the general health of the body. Vitamins play an important role in regulating body processes like growth, eyesight, health of the skin, formation of teeth and good digestion. Minerals act as catalysts for many biological reactions within the body. They are required for building of bones, muscular contraction and transmission of messages through the nervous system, and the digestion and utilization of nutrients in food. Can you tell me what are the regulatory nutrients? Water, roughage or fiber in foods act as regulatory nutrients that are needed for the normal functioning of the body. In importance and need, water is next to oxygen. It is required in large amounts to regulate body processes such as digestion, excretion, maintenance of body temperature and the electrolyte balance. Fiber present in whole grains and green leafy vegetables help in good bowel movements. Students, do you agree with me that foods also have psychological functions? Of course, foods satisfy certain emotional needs of human beings and act as a source of security. An infant learns security from the way the mother feeds it. Similarly, a growing child gains confidence and a feeling of belonging when it knows there is food in the house. People feel reasonably secure when they have enough food stored up to take care of them during scarcity. Food is also an outlet for emotion. As a relief from tension, one may not eat or overeat. For some people, loneliness and boredom are relieved by continuous nibbling at food. Though we belong to different cultures and traditions, food plays a central role in our life. The socio-cultural life of human beings has been revolved around food from ancient times. Food is used as a symbol of hospitality and friendship throughout the world. We express our hospitality to a guest through an offer of food or drink. In social gatherings, food serves as an instrument for developing social relationships. Here, the menu plays an important role and the nutritive value of it is not given much emphasis. Every family has its own peculiar meal pattern. This is governed by the social class to which he or she belongs, the economic condition, religious belief and social attitude. Today, food has brought about an integration of different cultures, races, ideals and thinking of people by accepting and relishing others' dishes. For example, we Indians are now relishing Chinese, European and other intercontinental dishes. Dear students, for an average man, food is much more than just a substance supplying nutrients for health. It is the sum of culture and traditions, emotional outlet, gratification of pleasure and a relief from stress, a means of communication, security, status of all of these interwoven in the fabric of life and unconsciously expressed. The functions of foods can be well understood if you learn about the nutrients present in food. The major nutrients present in foods are energy, carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. Foods provide us with energy in the form of calories, and they effectively act as a fuel that powers our bodies and enables us to function normally. Some foods provide us with more energy than others, but by eating a wide variety of foods in the correct balance, we can meet our requirements. You should also know about an important aspect related to this. Energy requirements vary depending on age, sex, size, metabolic rate and activity level. If we consume more energy or calories than we need, we deposit the excess energy in the form of fat or adipose tissue. Conversely, if we use more energy than we consume, we use up fat to provide us with more energy. The next major nutrient present in foods are carbohydrates. They can be divided into two broad categories: available carbohydrates and non-available carbohydrates. Sugars and starch are categorized as available carbohydrates. Why are they called so? Both sugars and starch are digested in the body and converted to simple sugars, that is glucose, which are then used by the body to provide energy. Sugars are present naturally in fruits, vegetables and milk, and are also added to many processed foods such as confectionery, cakes and biscuits. Starch is found in foods such as bread, cereals and potatoes. Dear students, the other form of carbohydrates are unavailable carbohydrates. They include dietary fiber or NSP, that is non-starch polysaccharide. The term unavailable is used because the fiber can't be digested and therefore doesn't provide us with energy. Dietary fiber can be divided into two categories: insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is present in whole grain, cereals and grains, and some fruits and vegetables, and adds bulk to the contents of the gut, speeding their transit and prevents constipation and other bowel disorders. Soluble fiber are found in pulses such as beans and lentils, fruit, vegetables and also oats, barley. Soluble fiber helps to reduce blood cholesterol levels and to regulate the blood sugar levels. Which nutrient is essential for growth? Yes, proteins are essential for growth and maintenance of body tissues and for the production of hormones and enzymes which help to control many functions within the body. If insufficient carbohydrates and fats are available in the diet, then protein may also be used to provide the body with energy. Proteins are made from building blocks known as amino acids. There are 20 different amino acids. Some amino acids can be made in the body and others can only be supplied by the diet. These are known as the essential amino acids. Some foods are better providers of these amino acids than others. those which contain all the essential amino acids are known as high biological value foods. Example, milk and dairy foods, meat, eggs, etc. Those which contain fewer of the essential amino acids are known as low biological value foods. Example, cereals, beans, lentils and nuts. Fat is one of the major nutrients for many reasons. Fat is the provider of energy. It is involved in forming the cell membranes. It is a vehicle for the provision of fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamins A, E, D and K. Fat is involved in making hormones. It helps in insulation and keeps us warm. Fat is shock absorbing and gives a protective layer. Fats are made up from building blocks called fatty acids. There are 3 types of fatty acids: saturated, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids. The fat in food contains a mixture of all 3 fatty acids in different proportions in different foods. Students, do you know about the saturated fats? Saturated fats contain triglycerides and saturated fatty acids. They have no double bonds between the individual carbon atoms of the fatty acid chain. Foods that contain higher proportion of saturated fatty acids include butter, lard, margarine, some blended cooking oils, meat and its products, whole milk and its products, coconut and palm oil. Monounsaturated fats are fat molecules that have one unsaturated carbon bond. Oils that contain monounsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature but start to turn solid when chilled. Olives, avocados, olive oil, canola oil and cashew are the best examples of monounsaturated fatty acids. Fats and oils containing large amounts of polyunsaturated fatty acids are derived mainly from seeds and nuts and include corn oils, sunflower and soya and margarine. 2 polyunsaturated fatty acid, linoleic acid and alpha linolenic acids cannot be made in the body and must be provided in the diet. These are called essential fatty acids. Linoleic acid is the parent fatty acid of the N6 family of fatty acids, and alpha linolenic acid is the parent fatty acid of the N3 family of fatty acids. Vegetable oils, eggs and poultry are good providers of N6 fatty acids, which are important for the formation of membranes in the body. Unrefined fish oils and oily fish such as salmon, mackerel and sardines are good providers of N3 or omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for the formation of nerves, reduced risk of cardiovascular disease, and improved brain function. Nowadays, a lot is discussed about trans fats in terms of health. What are they? Trans fats are formed when the structure of monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats are altered during a process called hydrogenation. Trans fats are often found in processed foods such as biscuits, cakes and margarines. Trans fatty acids also occur naturally in small amounts in milk and milk products and have been created in the stomach of ruminant animals. Vitamins, minerals and trace elements are required for numerous functions within the body, and their deficiencies can lead to serious health problems, and they are required in much smaller amounts than fats, carbohydrates and proteins, and are therefore known as micronutrients. There are two types of vitamins, water soluble and fat soluble. Water soluble vitamins travel around the body in the bloodstream and are picked up by cells when they are needed. Water soluble vitamins that are not required by the body are excreted in the urine. The water soluble vitamins are vitamin B1, thiamine, vitamin B2, riboflavin, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, folate, niacin, biotin, pantothenic acid and vitamin C. Fat soluble vitamins are stored in body fat until the body needs them. Fat soluble vitamins include vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. Minerals and trace elements are similar to vitamins and are required in very small or trace amounts to maintain good health. Minerals are required in gram or milligrams quantities, and trace elements are required in much smaller amounts, microgram quantities. Some minerals are found only in a few foods. So, it is important that these foods are included in the diet on a regular basis. Example, the main providers of calcium in the diet are milk, yogurt and cheese. Some foods are also fortified with minerals. For example, iron is added to some breakfast cereals. The minerals present in foods are calcium, chloride, fluoride, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, zinc. These can be further classified as macro and micro minerals. The commonly occurring trace elements in foods are copper, chromium, iodine, manganese, molybdenum and selenium. So, dear students, we have come to the end of the session, and I would like to summarize by saying that food is much more than a substance and which has specific functions or contains nutrients. Food may sometimes not be related to nutritive value. It is a source of power and security and a symbol of hospitality, friendship and status, and an outlet for emotions. Food is more than providing nutrients. Food is a part of our culture, tradition, emotions, means of communication, bonding of families, and a means of maintaining health. So, dear students, I would conclude the session by telling you that food is very important to life, and it is not only you know about the different food groups and read about it, but also try to put into practice the functions of foods and the nutrients of foods in application. Do you know how to do that? You have to choose the good or the proper foods in the form of a balanced diet, because you would have already studied or known about the food groups. So, based on the functions of foods and the different nutrients present in foods, daily you have to plan your menu and your diet and then cook the food in the right appropriate amounts and quantities, and you have to not only apply that in your life by whatever you have learned, but also to impart this information and create awareness in the society. So, when I say society, it starts right from your family. So, you tell your family members, tell your mother or the person who cooks at home the practical application of whatever you have learnt in this module, so that it can be applied in your home first, and then as a student you can also create awareness in the society, and as a responsible citizen of India you can make this nation, our country India, as a healthy nation by preventing it from becoming the capital of diabetes or obesity or any other non-communicable diseases in the future. I hope and I am sure that you will follow all these guidelines, whatever you have studied in this module. It is not just for a lesson, but it is an application oriented module.